The year was 1832 in New York City. As we all know, this was a time when ghosts were not only believed to be real by the majority of people, but they were also thought to be friendly. You could just walk up to them, say hello, and they'd want to help you out. Well, at least that's what happened in most stories. The truth, however, was far more grim. Ghosts were treated with fear and respect, and if you ever saw one, you should consider yourself very lucky. But this story is not about any ordinary ghost, but about an undead peddler who has been haunting the streets of New York for over 170 years. This man is a monster who continues to come back from the dead to sell his wares. And if you don't buy anything, he will simply take your life. That's right. He kills those who don't buy his products. Let me explain. It was 1832, and a new disease was spreading throughout the city. At first it was hard to notice because the symptoms were so similar to that of cholera, and most doctors failed to recognize it. But it was something new and deadly. Before long, thousands of people had already fallen victim to it, and doctors still had no idea how to stop it. It was later named Asiatic cholera, and claimed millions of lives throughout Europe and the United States. Its symptoms included uncontrollable vomiting, watery stools, and severe dehydration. And once these symptoms appeared, there was nothing doctors could do to save the patient. They would simply die within a matter of hours. Now, like I said before, this happened over 170 years ago, and there was no cure for this disease. So anyone who got sick with it was basically a goner. People who lived through it said it was a horrible experience and that it felt like they were living through hell. Some people even went insane because of it. So now you can imagine how scared everyone was when the first case popped up in New York City. People were panicking and they didn't know what to do. Well, in the midst of all this chaos, a mysterious stranger came to town. He introduced himself as a peddler and started going door to door selling strange-looking concoctions that he claimed could cure the Asiatic cholera. Now, obviously, people were hesitant at first, but they were desperate, so they eventually gave in. The peddler told them that his medicine was made out of rare herbs from China and India and swore by its effectiveness. To prove his point, he told them that he'd give them their money back if they used the medicine and were still sick. Of course, people took him up on that offer, and soon he became the most successful businessman in town. Everyone was buying his product, and he was making tons of money. But sadly, it wasn't real medicine, and he was just scamming everyone. In reality, he was filling his bottles with just water and a few drops of brandy. But to the sick people, it didn't matter. They were willing to try anything at this point, even if it meant spending their last few dollars on some water. It's not clear how much money this guy made during his time in New York, but it must have been a lot. After all, he was fleecing hundreds of people every single day. But his reign of terror couldn't last forever. Eventually, the police caught on and arrested him. However, when they searched his home, they found out that he had already fled town. They never saw him again, or so they thought. See, the thing is, although he was arrested, he was never charged with any crimes. There was no record of his arrest, and it was as if he had never existed. That's why many people believed that he was not a human being at all, but a ghost instead. There are even rumors that he's still out there, walking the streets of New York City, looking for people to scam. But here's where things get really creepy. Even after all this time, people still report seeing this undead peddler from time to time. One of the latest sightings was in 2007 when a man was walking home one night and saw a strange-looking peddler. He stopped and tried to strike up a conversation with him, but the peddler was uninterested. He just kept staring at his wares and wouldn't talk. It was weird. But the man decided to buy something from him anyway. And when he reached for his wallet, the peddler suddenly vanished. He was gone without a trace, and left the man standing there with his empty basket. There have been countless other sightings since then, but none of them have ever ended well. The truth is, this undead peddler has killed dozens of people. Those who don't buy his wares are met with a horrible fate. They either go insane or die from some unknown illness. And all the while, the peddler just keeps coming back from the dead to continue his work. Some people say he's a ghost, while others claim he's a demon. But whatever he is, he's definitely evil. Let me explain. First of all, the fact that he's immortal makes him very dangerous. He doesn't age, so he could live for thousands of years and scam everyone who crosses his path. Secondly, he seems to have some sort of supernatural ability. When the police were chasing him down, he was able to escape somehow. It's like he just disappeared into thin air. Lastly, he has no regard for human life. He's willing to kill anyone who doesn't buy his stuff. All of these traits make him very scary, but they also make him very powerful. This is a man who's not afraid of anything. He'll do whatever it takes to get what he wants and won't stop until he gets it. This is why I think he's not just a ghost, but a demon who has been cursed to walk the earth for eternity. In order to break the curse, he needs to collect the souls of those who don't buy his wares. But the problem is, he's been doing this for centuries and hasn't gotten any closer to breaking the curse. That's why I think he'll keep doing this for all eternity. He's too scared to stop, because if he does, the curse will become permanent, and he'll be stuck in this form forever. But what's really sad is that he doesn't even remember why he's doing this. All he knows is that he has to collect souls, or else he'll be trapped forever. He doesn't know who he used to be or why he's doomed to walk the earth for all eternity. So if you ever see this man, don't buy anything from him. Just run away. If you try to fight him, he'll kill you in a matter of seconds. And if you don't believe me, just ask the dozens of people who have died trying. In the end, the only way to escape his wrath is to ignore him completely. Don't look at his wares, don't make eye contact, and don't engage in conversation. If you do any of those things, he'll target you and make sure you pay for it. This story is a reminder that there are some things in life that are better off left alone. Some things are just too scary and dangerous to mess with. And this man is one of them. He's a monster who's been cursed to walk the earth for all eternity. And the only way to escape his wrath is to ignore him completely. Don't buy anything from him. Don't look at his wares. Don't make eye contact, and certainly don't engage in conversation. If you do any of those things, he'll target you and make sure you pay for it. What do you think? Is this just a ghost or something more sinister? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe for more creepy tales. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.